Give me 1 second. Type something in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a pleasure to be before you again today. Gee, it is a blessing to come with another interesting topic. When I began this series, I didn't think it'll be going 1 or 2, to part 3. A matter of fact, I haven't even began the message yet. I did share it in part 1, what brought about the topic, and I'll recommend you go back 1 and 2 and listen to the rest, and you get an understanding of number 3. So I'll continue on with this series. When I stop, I don't know, but I feel that you can be blessed from it. You can hear something, you may know it already, you may add it to what you know, but it's good to learn from other people to better oneself or give oneself clear understanding. So it is good to do that. I'd be looking on my shoulder in case someone have a question, so I will comment. That's why I'm looking on my shoulder. But when I began this series, I wanted to point out that we all debate every day. We don't realize it, but I wanted us to debate self and the things that we do, the things that we say, and we probably make better choices when we debate because we look at both sides. We can become our own debater, self-debater. We can take the negative, the positive, compare the two, throw away stuff, add to what we already know, and then simply move on from that. Our decisions should not be driven by emotions or feelings or whatnot. It should be based on the truth. It's not about who's right, who's about wrong. It is about the truth. And we all should strive to hear the truth. Yes, the truth can be like a knife in the operating room, causing pain when the incision take place. We must come to understand that the truth will hurt. You don't want to hear it, but we need to hear it so we can have some form of freedom in the midst of what we're seeking. So I begin this series, this particular message, in a different one because when I was listening, I already had the message prepared for part 3, but I tend to follow my thoughts because I feel maybe that would need to be said, because it go out into the spirit world and go out there and touch someone who needs to know, and someone may come and look at something I put on Facebook and be blessed from reading or listening to something I said and say, oh, I'm going through that, I'm experiencing that, I have done that, I'm doing that right now. Remember, I have no power to make you do anything. I'm not coming from a position of judging. We are to judge. If I tell you to take a sip of water, take a drink from a glass that I have given you, you should ask me what's in it before you drink it. Just don't take it and assume that it's water. So we can judge, we can ask questions as to what's going on all around us. We must begin to look at self and ask self, what is self-purpose? What is my blueprint? What is my life print? Every one of us have a blueprint, whether we are aware of it or not. Excuse me. We have a blueprint in our life. Some of us have not even started beginning to do the blueprint. And let's use, for example, building of a house. You go out there, you look for land, nothing's on that land, but you have a vision on what you want your dream house to be. So you have the money, you find a good architect who draw up the plans based on the thing that you share with them. He or she get back with you and show you these are the plans. And then you look them over and say, okay, this is in the wrong place. Can you widen that? You start making necessary adjustment as to how you want your house to look. what you want the house to be. So we, as other individuals, must come to realize and understand that we need to know the truth. Hold on. Like I lost connection. I hope I didn't lose connection, but I'll keep going on. Maybe it's weird. Lost my thought on it. So the message I want to put out there is that we need to, let me see. I may have to log off to do the video because at this time nobody is on with me at this time to tell me that they still see me. So I may have to log off and come back because to say that I lost connection, but I still see myself in the background. So let me see if I still have connection before I start over again. Yes, I'm live. Let me do an audio. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Because it say that. But I still see myself in the background. Okay. So let me see if I still have connection before I start over again. Okay, I do see myself and I'm gonna continue. I hear the audio, so I'm recording. So let me see where I began. Oh yes, I was talking about the house. We all have a house. We want our dream house and we need plans to build this dream house. And we found an architect to do that for us. And we must focus on the diagram, what's pointing out how much it costs. So in our own life plan, our own life behavior, we must have a blueprint on what we should be doing with this body, this house that we live in. What should we be doing? Or should we be so concerned about self-interest, things that we do, or we should be focused on other individuals? So as I was thinking about this message, on how I'm going to present it, I was going through, looking through YouTube, and I had a thought to look at Martin Luther King speeches because I always used to listen to them from time to time because it's a very short clip. And I remember he said, I had a dream, and then I saw a message say, believe in your worthiness, and what is your blueprint? So I will be reading that particular message, what he brought forth. What is your blueprint? He gave that particular, he talked on that particular topic when he was in the front of a high school students. I guess maybe it was a graduation or something to that effect, but you know, he did that. And I thought it was very interesting because by listening to his videos and listening to the message that he had spoke about and shared during his lifetime, I was amazed that it kind of fit me. What I mean by that is the thoughts that I have thought over the years, the lack of understanding, the not taking pride in yourself or talking down yourself or beating yourself up with words that you not going to amount to much or this going to happen and that going to happen. So I thought about my behavior as pertained to listening to the things that he said. Excuse me. I thought about the things that he was saying that made me realize if I lose this, I have to come back. But no, I'll leave it like it is. And I said, wow, I experienced that. I'm experiencing that. I had experienced that. And I said, wow, I wonder how many people have listened to his messages or who have never listened to his message. And we can probably agree that a lot of young people have never heard of him or never heard of his speeches, or maybe they have a vague memory of what he have done. And then us older folks know about what he done and what he stood for. So I recommend that those of you who want to take the time out to go back and listen to a lot of his messages, and you will see your own self in the message. I'm gonna have to redo this thing again because it's look like it's still freezing up on me. And I don't like that. If it's freeze up, then I have to do it again, but I'm gonna continue to go for it. So we as individuals must begin to say, you know what? I'm gonna do what I need to do and do the right thing and go forth and finding my blueprint. Oh, this is bugging me now. So the young youth, we need to go back and look and see what did Martin Luther King stand for and what he believed. And I was shocked to find out, interesting to find out some things that I didn't even know that he experienced, what he went through, and what it's got to do with debate itself. Because he was a great orator, he spoke very eloquently, and he had a way to capture anybody's attention by the words that he spoke. And I'm quite sure he thought about his speeches and how he was going to present them. You and I, and he was debating himself, the pros and the cons. Some people didn't like what he stood for, or didn't want to follow his teaching. They want to do other things, and that's their choices. But we as individuals must realize to come understand that we can do what we need to do. And we put our mind to it. We must put our mind to doing the right thing. So when I found this speech, and then it was interesting that I read something. You say never believe nothing on the internet, and I came across an article from his childhood. It said King's teacher described him as a moody and withdrawn boy, and they had reason to believe that by the time King was 13, he tried to kill himself twice. I said, wow, I never heard that he tried to kill himself twice. And I did a lot of research to see different stories, Wikipedia, Martin Luther King website and stuff. You never know what you see on the internet might be true. His more serious attempt at suicide came when his mother, Jenny Parks, died. Grandmother, I'm sorry. She had been a major presence in their home and had helped raise the kids. She had especially doted on little Martha. King would later say, I sometimes think that I was her favorite grandchild. He was supposed to be with her on the day she died, but he sneaked out of the house. A parade was in the town, and the curious boy ran to see. While he was out, his grandmother died of a heart attack. He blamed himself. He believed it was his fault that she had a heart attack. Filled with remorse, he'd climb up to the top floor of his home and leap out of the window. He survived, but it took a long time to recover. His father, telling him, would say he cried off and on for days afterward and was unable to sleep at night. So when I read that, I said, wow, I never heard of that. I never heard that particular story. And I said, wow, what if he had succeeded? We will have no Martin Luther King history. We will have the Freedom March and the things that he stood for and the speeches that he made. We will never have heard of him. So what's my point? All of us in our lifetime have bad times in our lives. Some individuals have bad times and they think about harming themselves, and some succeed and some don't. And they are formally crying out. But I want you to know that you have a purpose. You have a blueprint in your life that you can be someone, you just don't know it yet. And when the time comes, you begin to reveal your blueprint. Even if it's just to help yourself, you have a purpose to live. You have a purpose in life. You're not put on this earth just to be doing nothing. You are put on this earth to do something that needs to be done. You just have to focus on what is my purpose in life. So I thought it was interesting that I never heard of that story. And I said, wow. It brings some human side, not that he's not human, but you know what I'm saying? We hear all the things that he has done. And so there's a lot of people out there who's famous, movie stars, actors, singers, television personality that we can probably call off the tip of our tongue. They may have experienced that. They may have experienced thoughts of suicide. They may have thought that they wasn't going to make it. They may have thought that, why should they continue living their life? So never look at yourself and say you have no purpose. You have no blueprint to go by. You have nothing to do. You can't go anywhere. And then I read another article that said his father was a stern man. His father used to spank him and whip him. And he said, and I quote this saying, I'll make something of you even if I have to beat you to death. So I said, wow. I can recall when I was getting spankings or what we call them, people say whipping, spanking, beating. Back in my day, there was no such thing. I never heard of the term timeout. It's just a 21st century term now. Go to your corner and timeout. Back in the day, I remember getting spanking or whippings, whip belts or whip a switch or whatever because of my disobedience. And I deserve it. I mean, I think I shouldn't deserve it, but I deserve it. So we all go through a form of punishment. It's just what, have to beat it out of you or what we become. So we all have a purpose. I want you to debate right now in yourself. Look at the pros and cons. Where are your weakness? Where are your strength? What can you do to make yourself better? Begin to debate yourself and say, I do have a blueprint for my life. I do have a blueprint for the things that I want to do in my life. And I must write them down. I recommend write them down, the pros, the cons, the advantages and disadvantages, the take away and the give away, who you have to take away, who you have to stop hanging around with, your weaknesses, your strength, who's going to be a problem. Because you don't want someone else building your house and they're putting the wrong material, which is a thought that you think. So you want to be able to come back and say, oh, wow, I did a self-assessment of myself, a self-evaluation, and I'm going to do the right thing because I need to do the right thing and go in the right direction. So we as individuals must come to the point and say, wow, I do have a purpose in my life. I can't make someone believe in me if I don't believe in myself. I know I can stay and complain and blame and accuse, but I'm going to look at myself and say, where's that going to get me? I'm going to take away, add, subtract, multiply, divide the things in my life that will make me a better person and how I communicate when I come to people. And I found the one I said, what is your blueprint? Excuse me. Martin Luther King's speech, I quote, what is your life blueprint? I want to ask you a question, and that is, what is your life blueprint? Whenever a building is constructed, you usually have an architect who draws a blueprint. And the blueprint serves as a pattern, as a guide, and a building is not well erected without a good, solid blueprint. Do you have a good, solid blueprint for your life? Do you want to be erected? As in, someone can look at and say, wow, that person's making, that person's doing something with his life. Now, each of you is in the progress of building the structures of your life. And the question is whether you have a proper and a solid and a sound blueprint. Are you building your house? Are you building your life based on lies? Are you building your life based on justification and accusatory or blaming other people or not taking responsibility for your own behavior? Are you building your house based on a solid foundation of belief in truth, not lies? I want to suggest some of the things that should begin your life blueprint. Number one in your life blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity. Your own dignity. You must have a deep belief in your own dignity, your worth, and your own soundness, somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you're nobody. Not your mother, not your father, not your kin, not your close relative, not your stranger, not your best friend. Don't let anyone make you feel that you're nobody. If you have a plan, a goal in your life, I recommend keep quiet. Don't tell anyone until it happens. Because when you tell people your dreams and your goals, they may talk you out of it based on their situations, or you can't do that. It'll never happen. That is a negative part of the debating. Don't share what you don't want a response to. You may want a response, and I have done it myself. Don't share things with people because they may not realize it, but they will be jealous when they hear things. Have a proper. No one can make you feel that you're nobody, only your self-thought. Secondly, in your life blueprint, you must have a basic principle, the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. Have a determination that you're going to fulfill your dream. You're going to be deciding as the years unfold, what you will do in life, what your life work will be. Set out to do it well. Set out to do whatever you decide to do in your life. Do it well. Have a determination. Have your own dignity. Be what you ought to be, not what someone thinks you should be. And I say this to my young friends. Doors are opening to you. What doors are opening to you? What opportunities, what doors that we are not open? Doors of opportunity that we are not open to your mother and father. Doors of opportunity that were not open to your mother and father has been opened for you. Paraphrasing. And the great challenge facing you is to be ready to face these doors as they open. And another quote said, Ralph Waldo Emerson, the great essayist, said in an election in 1871, if a man can write a better book or preach a better sermon or make a better mousetrap than his neighbor, even if he builds his house in the woods, the world will be beaten past his door. So whatever you decide after you debate self and you put all your effort to become that person based on your own blueprint, whatever it may be, you have people breaking down your doors to be a part of what you're about to do or what you are doing, because the fruit's going to bear forth your labor. This hasn't always been true, but it will become increasingly true. And so I urge you to study hard, to burn the midnight oil. I would say to you, don't drop out of school. I understand all sociological reasons, but I urge you, in spite of your economic plight, in spite of situations that force you to live in, stay in school. And I'm saying this to the young brothers and sisters. If you have dropped out of school, don't be so prideful and just go back and get a GED. I mentioned in previous messages that when you don't have a GED, you can't go any further. And work in any place, you may want to be someone, you may have a skill, you may have a talent, an ability, but you need a college degree or a GED if you had not been in school. And when you have a GED, that will tell a person that you're out there willing to try to make your life different. So don't hold yourself back. Begin to debate within yourself and simply say, wow, am I going anywhere because I dropped out of school? Has my life changed? Do I want my life to change? What are the pros and cons of remaining out of school? And then I thought about the dignity part. Have a dignity about oneself. And it said, and when you discover that you will be in your life, what you will be in your life, set out to do it as if God Almighty called you to do it. And it goes, particular moment in history to do it. Don't just set out to do a good job. Set out to do a good job that the living and the dead and the unborn couldn't do it better. Like I heard this, we all are different individuals. My fingerprint is different from your fingerprint. We all have ability to do something that people can be blessed with. Set out to do a better job. Not you can do better than me, but do a better job. If you can do better than me, that's fine. But set out to make a difference in your life. Again, begin to debate self and look at the weakness and your strength and say, this is what I'm going to do to make a change in my life. And he says, if it fails, your lot to be a sweep. If it meant for you to be a sweet sweeper, sweep the streets like Michelangelo, paint pictures. Sweep the streets like Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Leon Price sang before the Metropolitan Opera. Sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. Sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great sweet sweeper who swept his job well. If you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a shrub in the valley, but the best little shrub on the side of the hill. Be a bush if you cannot be a tree. If you cannot be a highway, be a trail. If you cannot be a sun, be a star. For isn't it by size that you will win or fail, but the best of whatever you are? Be the best that you can be. Be the best that you can be. That's all that you should ask yourself. Begin to debate self and ask self, am I creating a proper blueprint for my life? If I'm constantly racing things, that's fine, because you want to make your blueprint for your life to be better, that you'll be able to do well. Begin to think, how can you better yourself? Begin to evaluate self. Look around, who you're hanging out with, who's positive, who's not positive, what your plans are. Did you pursue them? Did someone stop you? Have you delayed them? Have you put them on hold? Do you have another idea? If you're not succeeding in whatever you're trying, maybe because you're not following the right blueprint for your life. Be all that you can be. All that you can be. Not be all that you can be in things doing it illegally, but be all you can be in all the things that you want. And then he says something else. Believe in your worthiness. Believe in yourself. Be fearless. Fight for yourself. Keep moving. Follow your morals. Act now. Be determined to achieve excellence. Stay true to your principle. Stand for something and have a dream. You must stand for something and have a dream. Not stand for something that hurts other people, steal, kill, and murder, and rape, or whatever you can think of. Have a dream. Have a positiveness about self, that you're worth something. Don't let people tell you at any rate that you don't amount to nothing. You can never achieve anything. And we're living in a climate now where white and blacks and everybody is, not everyone, race is being thrown up like running water. Don't follow that thinking. Begin to ask why. Fight for yourself. Fight for yourself. Fight for yourself emotionally and physically. If you have to fight self in the thought that you think, begin to fight those thoughts that tell you that you are nothing. Begin to fight everything that comes your way that's not good. Push it off, knock it out, and get rid of it. And I would heard a few things that I'm going to throw out at you and let you decide. You can debate them because they go both ways. We all watch the news and see things on the news. The news will show you what they want to show you, but very rarely they show you the other side. They have an agenda. Is it the truth, or is it an agenda to cause you to follow what they're pushing out there? So I heard this particular person say, this is an actual quote from a politician who said something, and I want you to think about what he said. Some kids are unwanted, so you kill them now or you kill them later. You bring them in the world unwanted, unloved, and you send them to the electric chair. So kill them now or you'll kill them later. I'm going to say it again. Some kids are unwanted, so you kill them now or you kill them later. You bring them into the world unwanted, unloved, you send them to the electric chair, so you kill them now or you kill them later. This statement was brought on by Alabama State Representative John Rogers. You can Google it for the abortion ban. He was talking about, you can type his name, Alabama State Representative John Rogers, he said that statement, and he didn't recant. He did not, from what I heard, he did not say he was sorry. He didn't mean to say it. It was a slip of the tongue. Because a lot of politicians will say one thing and say, oh, I didn't mean to say it. But it goes out to, you already said it, so what do you mean you didn't mean to say it? You had to think about it before you said it. I would have this thought coming home. We see local city councilmen mayors or whatever. So, we're going to have a open door public meeting about something in the neighborhood. I look at that as a husband or a wife coming to each other and say, we need to talk. But they don't need to talk. They are telling you what they have done. So these politicians know what they're going to do. They made up their mind already behind closed doors. They just simply, because of law, require them to open up a public forum to get the public to voice their concerns. Sometimes they do change their mind, depending on how many opposition they have against them. But basically, they already made up their mind. They already made up their mind. And they have an agenda that you may be aware of or you may not be aware of. But we need the truth in all things. And when I heard him say that, I was like, wow, he actually said that he did not take it away. And then there was another one. It said, stop telling, and then I saw this say, quote, stop telling black people they talk like a white person when they use proper enunciation. And good speech intelligence does not strictly belong to white. And I thought about my time. People say, oh, you're talking like a white person. What is talking white? Because I speak proper English, do my best. Because I say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. I beg your pardon. May I help you? Good evening. How you doing? And how are you doing? Thanks for asking. And how's the family? Do we engage in that conversation when you went through a friend? Or you say, yo, what's up? What it be like? Ain't nothing. No, what's up, dog? That kind of stuff. So when I saw this particular quote that someone had put on my social media, it says, stop telling black people that they talk like a white person when they use proper enunciation, and good speech intelligence does not strictly belong to white. And that made me thought about what started this particular message, that the person was talking about, this stand your ground law that was passed for people that use it to kill blacks and shoot blacks. And I agree that we should be able to defend ourselves no matter what color, but we should always be able to defend ourselves. If a black person attempt to rob us, we can still stand our ground and shoot them. And they made a comment that I should put that on my page, yada, yada, kind of stuff. So, and there's no such thing as a black law. I challenge you, give me something that say black law, I'm sorry, I take it back. Yes, there were black laws back in the day would say you cannot go to the bathroom, that kind of stuff in slavery days. But to take something that 50, 60 years ago, till we run into trouble when we try to apply something in the 21st century back into the past. If you had the ability to go back 50, 60 years ago with the knowledge that you know right now, will you survive in that city or where you go? If people would think that you're a witch, they think you're alien, if they believe in alien at that time. They might even kill you if you try to implement something that they're not prepared for. Back then, they did not have cell phones and beepers and flat screen TVs and cars. All the things that you and I have right now, this day that we have in our home, in our place where we stay, in the restaurant that we can go into, they did not have in the 30s and 40s and in the 1700s. So taking that ideal back will make you probably a god. They may accept it, but you will run into a problem. So you can't change the past. You can't go back and change the past and make it think because you're not God. So we must come from the mindset that we're going to make things right. We can only make things right in our own life. One person can make a difference. And when you make a difference, like I said in another earlier message, and I think it's this one, where we are experiencing, we have it out and right before us, things that our ancestors did not partake of, that we have the opportunity to enjoy it right now. Are you taking advantage of the things that the ancestors have left you? Are you going out doing the best you can with what you have? Or are you justifying and complaining? There again, all of this is debating oneself in the choice that you make. And then lastly, I saw, is it the last one? I think it's the last one. And then I saw on the news where the school system has sent a letter to the parents saying, when you come to school, please dress appropriately so you can set example for other kids around you. Don't come wearing a bonnet on your head, shower cap, hair rollers. Dress to set example. And they talk to people in the neighborhood and they say, well, I don't think who did to tell me how to dress. They don't know my situation. And all the excuses they was given. And somebody said, oh, yeah, that's right. They can't tell you. But going out into the public forum, going out to school, I've seen people go to the mall with shower caps on. I've seen people go to the mall I see wearing pajamas as a piece of clothing, or flip-flops, or dressed inappropriately in local stores or even businesses, or even go to a job interview and wonder why they don't get the job. So wearing hair rollers, bonnets, and all that kind of stuff say a lot about you. Have respect for yourself. And they didn't show one, I think they did show two sides of it. So it was a debate. You decide. Is it okay? Someone say, I don't see nothing wrong with that. But set an example for the children when you go to other school and you dress a certain way and you see other kids gonna look at you like, why is she in a hair bonnet? Why is she wearing hair rollers or different kind of stuff? And some people didn't agree with her. So you must always debate yourself and make decisions as to what you're doing and how you're going to do certain things. And then I came across this, and I closed by saying Martin Luther King. I picked 15 of Martin Luther King's most inspiring motivational quotes. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infant hope. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Forgiveness is not an occasional act. It is a permanent attitude. I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great of a burden to bear. Faith is taking the first step, and even when you don't want to see the whole staircase. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? What are you doing for others? What have you done for others? Are you in the process of doing something for others? Are you so self-centered that you're missing? Because when you help other people, you actually help yourself. Whatever you sow, you will reap in due time. So we must come to understand that we must take our mind off of self. Never succumb to the temptation of bitterness. Don't let people make you mad. Our lives begin to the end of the day. We become silent about things that matters. We may have all come on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. The ultimate pleasure of man is not where he stands in a moment of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at time of challenge and controversy. Change does not roll in on wheels of inevitability, but through constant, continuous struggles. I'll get back to that in a minute. Love is the only force capable of transforming enemy mind into a friend. There comes a time when one must take position that is neither safe, nor political, nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it is right. Let no man pull you so low as to hate him. If you can fly, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, keep on moving. I'm going to say there will be a struggle when you debate yourself. There will be a struggle to do the right thing. Through peer pressure, family members, people against you, extended family members, going to struggle with you. That's why I say don't share everything with them. If they don't need to know, they don't need to know. So you can make people jealous. There come a time when you must take a position that's not right. Take a position that might get you hurt. Take a position that's not popular. Take a position as pertaining to politics. But you must realize there will come a time that you must do what is right. What is right? Not justifying it, but what is right. Do the right thing. It's my hope that what you heard with the technical difficulties, I would check when I sign off, is the message there. And not throw me off my guard. But I want you to closely listen to what I've shared. Closely listen to it. Take what I said and apply it to your life. Begin to debate yourself. What is your blueprint for self? You have a worthiness about you. Do the right thing. Don't be a follower. Be a leader. If you drop out of school, go back to school. Get a GED, because you can't get any further in life without it before it's too late. Begin to die to self. Pull yourself away from other people. Become to debate yourself like running water. The choice you make. When we leave our house in the morning, we have a form of debate. Oh, should I wear that piece of article? Should I wear that? No, I don't wear that. Why don't I wear that? So we struggle in our mind, debating ourselves, what are we going to wear? Women do with shoes, hair, and whatever. So in life, we're constantly debating ourselves. Begin to apply this term, this new way of debating, not only debate where they actually go in the auditorium and they present a subject and you have the pros and the cons, but I'm taking away from that room. I want you to look at it that you can debate yourself by yourself, but you must first admit that you need to debate self. Don't debate self and justify staying the way you are because it works so far. You're going against, because whatever you sow, whatever you plant, whatever you're doing, you're going to eventually reap it. So begin to look at self and say, what is my blueprint for my life? I'm going to begin by simply taking a piece of paper, write down the advantages, the disadvantages, the pros and cons, the outcome, what you want to be, who you need to get rid of in your life, who can help you, who can be a blessing. So you're constantly fighting. Is it going to be an easy task? No. It's going to take time? Yes. Because self does not want to change. You first have to fight self. And once you learn to fight self, then you must learn to fight self first before you can fight other people that will come against you. You have a purpose in life. You can fulfill your dreams, but you must have them first. You must have them first. If you have no dream, have no vision, you're just simply existing, which is another one of my messages, and not living. Tomorrow is not promised to you. 5 minutes is not promised to you. Every time we take a deep breath and blink our eyes, we pass from past, present, and into the future. What do you want your future to be? What do you want to begin at this very moment? So I thank those of you who will listen to this. If you like what you heard, I ask you to share with other people. Allow them the opportunity to say, wow, I need to hear that. I need to find my blueprint for my life. We all want to have a house, our dream house. It requires a blueprint. But this physical body is our house. So we need to have a blueprint on where we want to go and what we need to do. I presented you my blueprint on what my purpose is, my last message, talking about the books that I have written. And if you like any of the books that I have written, just simply email me or text me, just put a message in an instant message in the slot, and I'll get back with you. And I would do that because we can learn from each other. Let us begin to support each other, ideas and beliefs. Let us not be so self-centered, only concerned about self. Because deep within us, like the lady told me yesterday, 2 days ago, don't be a crab in the basket. Don't be a crab in the basket. And I thought about that. One crab climb up on top of another one. Then another one climb on top of that crab. Then another crab come and pull that crab down. And they constantly trying to climb up on each other. And maybe one get out of the basket. But do that one turn around and reach and pull the other one up? No. They run off and do their own thing. Let us not behave that way. Let us help each others. Let them learn from what we experience. Let them show them that we debate ourselves. And that's why we're in the position that we're in right now. So it's my prayer and my hope that this message have touched you. And like I said in the early part, if it didn't get cut off, this is part 3, and there'll be many more. So thank you You can go to my YouTube channel, He Still Speaks Now. Listen to the other video. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button. And what that will do, when you hit the subscribe button, whenever I do a live YouTube broadcast, it just simply indicate to you that I'm online. So thank you, and I hope you enjoy.